Hello and welcome. You with World Business Report. I'm Sally Bundock. Also in the programme, Tim Cook, the boss of Apple, is in India now, where the price isn't right. We'll see how he's getting on. But let's start first of all with Nigeria, where labour unions are going ahead with a general strike today after rejecting a ruling by the Nigerian courts to block the industrial action. The strike comes a week after the government proposed to raise the price of petrol by 2/3. Politicians hope a reduction in fuel subsidies will help to address a shortage of petrol at the pumps. So why is one of the largest oil producers in Africa struggling to match the demand of its own population? The answer is basically because of the currency and the global plunge in oil prices, which has taken its toll on the country's economy. So this has reduced the non-official value of the naira, the Nigerian currency, against the US dollar, as you can see. Now, as a result, fuel suppliers have struggled to source the US dollars required to import the refined fuel that can then be used by motorists. And to address this shortfall, the Nigerian government has proposed raising the price cap from 43 US cents to 73 US cents per litre. Well, let's go live to one of our other bureaus in the UK, Oxford, where William Attwell is Africa analyst at Oxford Analytica. Good morning. It sounds like a very critical time for Nigeria. It's been struggling for quite a while with this problem with the oil price lowering. Give us your take on how this week will go.
That's absolutely right, and thanks for having me on the show. Yes, as you correctly say, Nigeria is under some severe financial strains as a result of the historically low oil prices. One of the consequences of retail prices being capped at a low level domestically has been that it creates a disincentive for traders and importers to actually bring refined fuel into the country. Now, the reason that a major oil producer imports its own gasoline for domestic markets is that its own refineries are very dilapidated. And around 70% or more of its refined fuel is actually imported. So this subsidy cut is in many ways an attempt to try and increase incentives for bringing that refined gasoline into the country.
How do you think this, sorry to interrupt you, how do you think this will be resolved? Because we can see the problems from the point of view of the government, and yet you can understand the issues from the point of view of trade unions as well.
Yeah, no, of course, and those concerns by trade unions and much of the wider population, I'm sure, are very real. Inflation's running at over 13% already, and if we see this price increase holding, there's the very strong possibility that, given the knock-on effects in the wider economy, we could see inflation rise much more. I think it's going to be extremely difficult for the government to hold the line on this policy. Back in 2012, under the previous administration, a similar attempt to remove fuel subsidies failed dramatically. So I think Buhari's going to, the administration of President Muhammadu Buhari is going to really struggle to hold the line here. And I wouldn't be surprised if there's some backtracking.